All right, we're back with another episode of Tatt Chat. We're here with our good friend. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, give us your name, where you work. You're obviously the owner, so that's important. And then how many years you've been tattooing, and we'll go from there.
All right, my name's Kevin Becvar. I own Dark Helmet Tattoo in Temecula, California. Been tattooing 21 years now.
21. All right, you broke the 2 decades.
Yeah.
You know a thing or two now.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? You've seen a thing at least. Yeah. You've seen a trend come and go and come back and all that. So, hell yeah. All right. So usually how I start, first question I like to ask everybody is, how did tattooing come into your life? Like, what's the first vivid memory you have of a tattoo? Maybe it was dad had a tat or uncle or something like that. But where I know you came up where, Maine?
Maine.
Yeah, Maine. Okay, so tattoos were probably a little less visible there than they were, say, California here where we're at right now. Yeah. So what's your first memory? Do you have a neighbor or yeah?
I would say growing up in the metal industry, so Pantera, watching all the stuff they had,
Sick.
everything Paul Booth was doing on them and all that, and in Maine you definitely had the white trash tattoos and Confederate flags, all that stuff, the clowns, all the crazy
Graphics.
shit, all the crazy shit, and then the Cherry Creek stuff, all that stuff. Tribal was always a thing, but I don't know. I looked at Phil Anselmo, Pantera, and all this stuff, and at that point, he had the CFH on the head and all that other crazy shit, and you're like, dude, what the fuck, dude? But that was really what I was like. One day I want to do it. Just drawing on myself, fucking middle school and all that shit, and and then the Marine Corps is really where I got heavily into it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
There's such a history between service and tattooing. Yeah. A lot of people join fine tattooing through, a port somewhere or a dude in the barracks or even downrange, getting tatted in the barracks under mortar fire.
Yeah.
All kinds of crazy ways. Yeah. Now there's a real rich history there. That's cool. Yeah. That's cool that you're part of that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, so you've been 21 years. So you apprenticeship. Technically, right? You did a real one, not okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you get into a little bit about that? Because I feel like I've had a lot of guests on recently who just taught themselves, kind of came in through the back door. It's always good to let people know kind of what was expected at least 20 years ago, because I'm coming up on 24 now, so things were a little different then. They weren't quite so easy.
No.
I feel
miserable.
Like it's
Yeah.
Certainly. So why don't you give us a little bit about your apprenticeship, how you got it, because obviously you went through the Corps and then started after that or during that.
It was during, yeah.
During, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I was getting tattooed outside of base, and I was just so into it, so into everything about it. But it was a biker ran shop, which was pretty common back then, early 2000s.
Super,
So I was always bugging them, this fucking immature young 19-year-old little twat, just walking in and being like, "Come on, I want a tattoo. Let me tattoo. What do I do? What do I need to do?" And they're like, "Bro, you're in the fucking Marine Corps. You don't have time for this shit." I was like, "Just anything I do. I get off at 16, 1700. I'll come in. I'll do whatever it takes." And they're like, "You ain't gonna do it, But at that time, I was still kind of a boot in the Marines. I wasn't, fucking that long. So scrubbing floors and doing all this shit was nothing to me. I was like, that's easy as shit.
Easy,
I'll do whatever.
Yep.
Getting hazed, absolutely nothing to me. So I feel like that helped me so much in my apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Because one day I was going in tattooing "Oh, you still want to do this shit?" And it wasn't the owner. He was a dude that worked for him forever. And I was like, "All right. Yeah, I want to do this shit." And he's like, "All right, come in, start cleaning toilets, start doing it right after you get out of work." So I did. I'd go in from 7 p.m. till midnight, just cleaning, scrubbing tubes, doing all that stuff. No fucking bloodborne, no anything, just going in, just not knowing. And at that point, they were even making you autoclave the needles before you put it in the sharps container at that, for that health department. I was like, that's fucking dangerous, but all right, cool, whatever. So just doing that, all that, get bitched. God forbid there's one tube in the ultrasonic, you get your ass reamed. And then, and their biker shops are crime constantly.
Oh yeah.
They would close the shop down. "Wow, we've had one person come today. Let's come in and do fucking oil changes on the bikes in the lobby. All right, let's do that shit, Crazy shit like that. Or they would, when I started seeing more stuff going down, I was like, dude, I'm gonna get in trouble being here. Like, so then I deployed, came back, they let me in again, and they're like, but at that point, I still hadn't tattooed. So then one day, Friday the 13th, all that stuff, like, dude, you fucking tattooing? All right, cool, let's do this. I'm gonna tattoo today, too. Terrible. So nervous, you're shaking as fuck, you know, them looking over your shoulder, telling you not to fuck up. I'm like, all right, cool. So I started doing that, and then one day I went in, and the other apprentice, his shit was all over the sidewalk. It's like all everywhere, and I was like, oh shit, what happened, dude? The guy comes in all pissed, what the fuck, this is all my stuff. He had like Mickey Sharps, you know, just all on the sidewalk, and they're like, yeah, fool, well, we found out you're fucking tattooing your buddies at your home and stuff like that, and you can't be doing that shit. So like, he's like, hey, maybe we can resolve this. We still need an apprentice. Coming in the back office. Well, the vice president of the club, president of the club, brought him back, and all of a sudden, all you hear is pound, pound. So they took a ball peen hammer and started pounding his fucking hand with a ball peen hammer, breaking his hand multiple times. And I was like, dude, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna get kicked out of the Marines or something associated with this shit.
I think a lot of people think it's all just like stories that really didn't happen, but all that shit really happened.
It happened.
It was real as fuck back then.
It was pretty gangster, dude.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah. And at that point, I was already thinking about maybe I should tattoo barracks tattoos and stuff. Dude, that changed me completely. Scared the shit out of me for a little bit. I was like, all right, cool. But I stayed for a little longer. But then, you know, the whole make you, you know, wear bikinis, do all that shit outside, you know, plastic wrap people to the poles, make them hold sign, 100-degree weather. Yeah. All the, you know, I've had a buddy had to do that too. And that was only like maybe 15 years ago for him. And like, people still kept that shit real. Yeah. And I miss that. But at the same time, is it necessary? It's not necessary.
Totally.
But come on, that's cool shit. It's like an initiation.
You fucking knew not to take your shit to the barracks.
You knew not to do it. And the etiquette, you know, because you had your, you know, you couldn't work, no compete clause.
Yeah.
You couldn't work 100 miles away from the next shop. Yep. But at that point, there wasn't a shop on every fucking corner.
Nope.
So you would have maybe at most 3 per town, and that's 3 per town probably is at most, you know, in most cities.
It's smaller. Yeah, 30,000 people-ish. Yeah. That's all it can handle.
And there would be a lot of people in those shops because of it. Maybe like 8. Now you got shops in every corner and people opening shops within 5 years of tattooing, private studios within 5 years of tattooing.
Well, they have 5 apprentices for all 5 years they've been tattooing.
It's been crazy, you know, and I want to adapt at the same time. I'm that grumpy old man, and like you got the new guys coming in, they just think like I just hate tattooing now, and no, it's not that. I love the art, and I love what it's become. I'm pro AI.
I hate what you're doing to it. Yeah. AI's great. Digital tools are great.
It's great. Yeah. At first I didn't. I had the iPad, and I was admitting like, yeah, it's fucking cheating. Because let's face it, you're skipping 3 steps of tattooing, but at the same time, you're making your job easier. You're producing better tattoos because of it. I can't complain at any of that shit.
It works if you're already a good artist when you get the tool.
Yeah.
If you're not a good artist and you just start with that tool, that's where the problems become. Because it's a weakness.
It is, yeah.
It makes you weak. It's like a microwave. It's like, oh, everybody forgot grandma's recipe.
Exactly.
They forgot how to actually cook something because I can just go beep, beep, beep. Done.
I know.
I'm a cook. No, you're not.
I know.
No, you're not. You're taking a shortcut. So, yeah it's a shortcut.
It is.
But if you've been in it long enough or you have a strong background in those things already, it's just a tool.
Yeah.
It makes your job, like you said, 1,000 times easier.
It makes it more original because at first we were doing Flash. Like my time, Cherry Creek was pretty big. You know, Tribal was big. So I wasn't into the Sailor Jerry stuff. I think we still did it, but that was before my time.
It didn't even really come out. Like there was a time before, but when I came up, that stuff had just come out. Like I bought one of the books at the original price.
Yeah.
One of those 3, you know, big ones. I bought one for the 25 or 50 or whatever it was, and all the other ones I've had to pay like 300, 400 to get. You know, but that was just hitting the scene. Mike and Ed and them were just realizing that there was a market to sell that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, people wanted something more because Cherry Creek had kind of gotten old at that point. It was still selling, but it was like you had to simplify the shit out of it to tattoo it in any size that was even sort of relatable to what a customer wanted it at. You know, then you had Judy Parker stuff, which was great too. You could sell a ton, but you had to redraw it. You couldn't just take it and go, oh, right here, boom, done.
Yeah.
You know, there was a little work involved, which I think actually made us better tattooers and better artists.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because there was always adjusting to that stuff.
You had to. That stuff was. I mean, it was all meant to be. They all drew it to like the size of a back.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck and then shrunk it down on this little page. And like, here's this dragon.
Yeah.
You're like, the fuck? Like, what do I use? A 0? Like a single? Like, how do I make that line so small?
At that point, it was fucking. I didn't use a mag till probably 5-6 years into tattooing because it was all powder pigment, which mags don't work for that. So it's round shaders. And then I was using them, and exactly, flats, or like what was those, the double flats, or you cut people open, like the M2s or whatever, the stacked mags, So when I started getting into mags and stuff, and I was like, what the fuck, where has this been? And then curve mags came out, I was like, man, this is ridiculous.
I remember curved. I'm like, I don't have a jig for that. How do you make that?
I know, man. And you do all your own needles and stuff, which was cool. It's good to know that stuff. Yeah. You wrap your own coils, you build your machines, and that art is, I'm not gonna say dead because people still do it, but let's face it, it's pretty close.
The new generation cares less about it overall. There's still people within the new generation that want it. They want it,
but and they're tratty artists. It's no realism artists want to be doing that stuff.
No, they don't care.
Because those are all art school pretentious cunts that want to fucking come in and think, I can do this. It's a different medium. And can they? Yeah, they're phenomenal. Yeah. Will they go through the steps? No, but their etiquette's terrible.
Well, the problem is they're kind of assholes. Yeah. Like, they're not fun to be tattooed by. Yeah, no. Whereas the tratty kids are like, hey, dude, what do you do for a living? And, they actually take the time to engage. Yeah. They don't treat you like a canvas. Yeah. Yeah, they have their big-ass fucking Dre Beats headphones on. Hey, if that's what makes you, maybe you are an introvert and you need that stuff, and that's how you get through. That's how I'm talking. I like to build relationships with my clients. I like to talk to them. Because, it's intimate. It is an intimate setting, and you get a lot of private conversations with people. And people open up, man. They tell you everything,
and you learn so much because you're tattooing everyone of all walks of life, every career out there. So you're learning certain things about different jobs. It's the best.
Military. Everything. People within, people with every walk of life.
Doctors, rocket. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. You were tattooing a certain amount of people, but now everyone has
biker dudes and their friends,
biker dudes,
and their floozy girlfriends that are just there for the cocaine and the parties.
Dude, and if it's part of their bike club, you better believe you're not making money. Nah, that's free. That's free. All right, cool. You're
lucky if like one of the floozies will give you a BJ or something.
Yeah. Oh, you'd have just the girls coming in and all that, and like. Yeah. It was fun. It was a rock star time. Yeah, it was. You felt like a rock star, and you were such a minority in this world as a tattoo artist. Now it's not like that.
Well, you were a rock star to the rock stars.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
My lineage goes through Sunset Strip, and that's where a lot of those dudes got tattooed when they were coming up and all that, So nowadays, if you were your Motley Crue, you'd be like, come to our hotel and tattoo us here. Yeah. Back then, you had to go to Sunset Strip and fucking stand in line and wait to be next. Yeah. Because it was flipped. It was different. It was, tattooers were like, fuck you, pay me, sit down, shut up. Yeah. I don't care who you are. Yeah. Get in the chair. Don't be a pussy. Yeah. Now it's like, Bieber calls up, hey, I need you to come to my fucking yacht and do a tattoo at 3 a.m. and the tattooers are so thirsty. They're like, oh, sure, whatever you want. Oh, God, I'll do it for free. Just post about it, It's totally different now, like, the attitude. And that's what I miss. That's where I get mad about what's happening to tattooing. Yeah. It's not necessarily the technology changing, because that's inevitable. That's everything. Yeah. I'm old enough now to realize that shit changes. It's always going to. There's always going to be the newest, best thing. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Some of it's really good. Like, I mean, you can do amazing tattoos with some of the shit that's out there
nowadays.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it pisses me off more that people are doing bad tattoos with this technology.
Exactly.
Dude, you have everything right in front of you now.
Yeah, dude, there's
plug and play everything.
YouTubers. Yeah, you have no adjustments, no nothing. Ink is as easy as it's ever been to use.
Yeah, it's so easy. Dude, I'm not going to say tattooing's easy.
No.
Because there's... No. You got your Honda Civics of tattooing, which is a safe bet, clean tattoo, and then you got your Lamborghinis, which to me, I will never be the Lamborghini because I don't have that artistic background and that knowledge of like, dude, everything from composition, everything they know out in Poland. You got Russia, you got Australia, all these guys just...
Eastern Europe's killing
it, their art programs are better than America's. America defunds art programs every single year.
Well, and they're surrounded by art. I've always made the argument that anybody who grows up in Europe is just surrounded by art. You walk by your neighbor's gate, and your neighbor's gate was made by an artisan who welded and molded, and like everywhere you go, the buildings are art, the sidewalks are art. There's an art to how the cities were designed. Yeah. Our shit is just like, it's an Andy Warhol painting. It's just the suburbs all look the same. Ticky-tacky boxes on the hill, right? Yeah. So we're less inspired in general because of that. We have a different, a different approach to art because of that. yeah, they have an advantage, and they care about it. They care about music, because to them it's culture. To us, it's not really culture yet. You know, I don't think people really look at art and music as culture in America. We have so little of it. We're so new. We're only 200 years old.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like we don't have 1,000+ years, 2,000+ years of this history and this lineage, and so
you know, we do have like
the
diversity. So luckily we do have that coming in. We got these Russian artists, you know, Mashka, all these guys coming out to America doing this stuff. Yeah, and they're finding a big difference now too, though, because they're in Russia, which is
everybody's
the whitest skin in the world. So like no sun exposure, none of that, and they're coming out here and they're tattooing just sun beaten and all that
surfer
stuff.
Dudes,
it's
sun
hard.
Buddies,
you know, where I'm from in Maine, the skin was a lot better than it is out here.
Dude, I made such an adjustment to my tattooing when I moved to Hawaii from Minnesota. It was unreal. Yeah. At first I was like, I think I forgot how to tattoo. Yeah. Because you gotta get that shit in there, dude. You can kind of just fucking half-ass it in Minnesota. It falls in there, white as shit. You go to Hawaii and everybody's in the sun all the time. It's tattooing leather. It's like tattooing that fake skin. You're like, rough. What is this? Oh, holy shit. Yeah, it's a huge adjustment.
Way more breaks to let that irritation go away.
Yeah.
I don't like take breaks.
Yeah, so Bactine, you know, in the rinse bottle, all the little tricks. You know, totally.
Yeah, witch hazel, shit out of them.
Yeah, wrap them up, kind of sweat it out. Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're trying to do multiple layers and get realistic blends and
exactly.
You know, you're doing traditional. It's traditional. You still got to do it a little differently.
Yeah, but even getting that peppered look on that, you're like.
Yeah, it's not as easy as that sun bleached.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's it, too. I mean, that's why certain scenes, you know, like you said, Russia, Europe, all these places where the, you know, fucking sun doesn't shine, dude. Like, everybody's like, why doesn't mine look like that? And it's because you don't fucking live there, dude. You didn't grow up with no sun.
Exactly.
We got more sun today than those guys are going to get in the next 6 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's gloomy.
It's terrible. It's overcast. Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, so no, it's yeah, and really at the end of the day, I guess, it just, that's what I think a lot of our generation is upset about, is just kind of like what people are doing to and with tattooing, not the advancements of tattooing. I mean, the advancements are great, dude. Tattoos heal so much better now. Yeah. I hate that there's a million companies, you know, like everybody's got a new tattoo ball.
That's the industry of tattooing now. Yeah, that's a big difference.
I can't say I found one that doesn't heal a tattoo better than slabber an A&D or preparation H on a tattoo, which is super common when we first started getting them and giving them to people.
Yeah, we ain't melting down speed stick to put stencils on anymore, that's for sure.
Well, some of us might be. But
maybe. No,
that's old timers, but you're trying to do a different kind of tattoo. You need a different kind of stencil. You need that gel, that aloe gel.
I love stencil,
it, man. Yeah. Or the hair gel ones. Yeah. The hair gel's the base stuff.
The old conditioner and glue days.
It works good. Good. It's funny how none of the kids know that that's where any of the... do you have that spray stuff to keep the markers on? I mean, you mean hairspray?
Yeah, exactly.
They don't realize that that's where all that shit comes from.
Hairspray, like, clump up mid-tattoo. You're like, damn it, dude.
Right, right? No. Or that Windex takes fucking ink out of everything. Now they got these new, it removes ink, it takes stencils off, it doesn't, like, oh man, dude, Windex did that. Yeah. Alcohol, or whatever stencil gel you use to put the stencil on, removes the stencil better than anything other than, say,
it's true, man.
Alcohol.
No,
usually.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes you do. You put the new stencil, you're like, oh, so much purple, man. Yeah, it's because this shit's getting off, dude.
Yep. So anyways, I guess this question kind of goes without saying, but machines, dildo pens or coils or both, and why for you? I mean, I know you use the pen.
Yeah, for me, plug and play, all that. Mm-hmm. Undeniable, you use a good coil and you get better line work. Right. It's just...
Thanks for saying it.
Effortless, you know. It really is. It's just not for me. Yeah. You know, I like to use one machine, just click on some cartridges. It might slow you down a little bit on the line work, and you know, but
you're a traveling artist too, which that's huge. You know, when you do conventions and stuff.
Maybe I'm lazy, dude. I don't know what it is. Like, I'll even have like 4 cartridges. I'm like, I could just use that 9 curve right now, or I could just keep this 15 curve in and just like maneuver my way in, and I'd even do that. I catch myself doing that. I'm like, dude, just take the little extra second. But I don't know. Maybe it could be laziness, or I don't use too many big different needle groupings either, and I do miss coil. I just don't miss the weight, I guess, and that's a bitch ass thing to say, but it's true. I don't know. I just
I
like
people.
the pens. Yeah,
yeah.
They're nice. They're consistent. I never have to worry about tuning shit.
Nope.
But
especially with travel, shit comes out of tune. Bouncing around a fucking plane.
Yep.
On the way to Timbuktu.
My Mickey, I didn't have to tune much. My Keith B, I didn't have to tune much. You know, I've had some.
Yeah, and good machines are good machines.
Yeah. Sure. And then you got the one of those fucking new rotary coil looking things. What you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the Cubans and the
hipster machines, dude.
Oh yeah, hipster.
Yeah, hipster Cubans, dude. I can't say they don't look cool and everything, but I'm like, dude, I'm gonna use a machine that I have to figure eight a rubber band and do it multiple times to get it to work. Nah, it's not for me.
Special rubber band, special grommets.
Not for me.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, but I've used them. It was like gravitational pull almost. I'm like, dude, I'm feeling like I'm touching the skin. It's going in. So it was nice, you know. But you got to tune them all the time. You know, same thing. Yeah. So, and I have buddies that they love it, but like, I don't know, I feel like my liner's not working well today. I don't know, use a fucking Amazon rotary, dude, because that shit works for me, dude. Yeah, I'm not using much. I mean, I still use my sponsored products, but I'm not gonna for machine. I don't know. If you know what you're doing, you can kind of use a machine.
Anything, yeah.
And those actually work. I've maybe a year. I get a year out of it. I've used other. Not going to name the brand to throw them under the bus that just don't work a year, and they're $8,000 to $1,000. You know, like I ain't gonna do that.
Well, that's the other thing I think I'm most upset about in the tattoo community, as far as like what's going on and what's happening to tattooing, is just this freaking money grab, this cash grab. Yeah. That these, you know, you call it an industry because that's what it is now. It's beyond a craft, or I feel like there's still the craft and the craftsman, and there's the industry, and they're like kind of opposed to each other. They're the yin and yang of what tattooing has become. And the industry's just fucking out of control, man. I mean, you know, there's one company owns it all now, $3 billion later.
100%, yep. And these other companies have made millions off of them. That's cool for them. They can retire, but
here we are, right?
I know, dude. Yeah, thousandaire maybe.
Yeah, on a good week. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, being an owner. Yeah, everybody wants to be one until the bills are due.
It is, and being an owner's, because the state's interfered, that IRS has, but we can only blame tattooers for that when you're flexing your expensive cars, flexing all this stuff, and IRS is like, oh, these guys are $1 million industry now, so they made it so you can't make people work 9 to 5. You can't. You're not supposed to set the hours anymore. Yeah. It's like that sucks.
Yeah, California is definitely different than a lot of other states.
It's a lot,
for
man.
Sure.
It's terrible. Yeah, the independent contractor laws, the employee laws, it's getting out of hand. They just
and who can afford
get their hands
taxes on an employee?
Exactly.
You just make them employees and be like, okay, well, yeah, you're gonna get a paycheck, you're gonna get health care,
tax on that.
But there'd be 3 shops in all of California that could afford it,
Which
millionaire
might
parents.
be what we need, I guess.
It might be. Yep. Yeah, but once again, money. It all comes down to like only people with money can play in it, whereas it never used to be that way. It used to be like you said, you got into it, you had nothing. You were just like, fuck, I had a desire. I wanted to be a tattooer. Yeah. That's all it used to take.
And it could have been multiple things. I loved the art. I liked maybe the rock star part of it was a big grab for me, I'm like, oh, these dudes are slaying pussy over here, dude.
Right? All wearing gold.
Oh, shit, dude. Yeah.
Lots of money all the time.
All right, cool. Yeah. That's cool. Driving lowriders and shit. All right, this is definitely appealing to me. Like,
everybody had a toy or two. For sure. Yeah. Well, because it was different back then, too, for sure.
It was, yeah. People took advantage of that a little bit now. I mean, you can get away with a lot more back then than you can now.
For sure.
This industry is definitely pussified. You're constantly worried about getting canceled. You're always constantly worried about saying the wrong thing that's gonna offend someone who's soft in the industry, and then you get thrown under the bus, and you got 100 people after you, and I'm like, and they forget about it in 2 months.
Well, and even if you're in the right, I'll never forget somebody down the street did a tap out deal for $50 for up to 8 hours. I'm like, you could make more flipping burgers, over an 8 hour period. So I put them on blast. I took a screenshot and made a story about it, and somebody hit me up and was like, oh, hating on another artist who's just trying to, and I'm like, no, it's not, and they're like, oh, they finished it with small dick energy, and I was just like, I screenshotted that and made a story about it, and I was like, how dare you assume my gender, starters? I can use that one against you. But like, it's not even about being a hater. It's just about like having respect. Like, you should never tattoo for less than minimum fucking wage. Like, especially because minimum wage is like, what, 20, almost 20 something here now.
It is.
Like $18, like $19 an hour. Like, like, why are you tattooing for that amount of money? It was never meant to be
some of it, because I just love it. I love doing the art and stuff. Nah, you're in for a fucking quick crack rock or some shit, dude.
Well, right,
why else would you
exactly.
tattoo that cheap? Like,
Exactly,
for
yeah.
a fix? Like, nah.
If you're trying to build a portfolio, just do free tats on the homies until you're good enough to charge $100 an hour, and then charge $100
don't post
an hour.
online you're charging like,
yeah.
like, bro. And they're still not busy.
Everything down. I know, right?
Because some people are starting to get a little more educated, you know.
Thank God.
Hey,
yep.
maybe you got to spend the money. And we're older, so we attract more of the older people, which have their shit together.
Yeah.
You got younger tattooers that are attracting these kids out of high school and all that, and they don't have the money, you know. So I get that,
right?
You know, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, you got the Hondas and you got the Lamborghinis.
I mean, I knew what I wanted when I was younger. I knew it took money. I knew you had to save, and you know, I mean, there's plenty of times where I paid my rent like a couple weeks late because I wanted a tattoo more than I wanted to pay my rent on time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was a thing, you know, like for real. I was addicted. I was like, fuck yeah, I want that shit.
All the money I was getting paid tattoos were going into tattoos because you weren't like. At least when I was started out, you're still paying people in your shop to tattoo. It's not like homie hookup. Let's just tattoo trade and all that.
Especially back then.
Oh, yeah. It's like, hey, you're not doing anything today. I'm fucking tattooing you today. I'm like, man, I have a PFD tomorrow in the Marines. I can't. You're getting fucking tattooed. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Yep. At the end, he's like, all right, $250. I'm like, geez, you don't fucking making Marine Corps money right now. $250, dude? What is it? That's expensive as shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Natty Light, dude.
That's a lot of Natty Light.
Yeah, dude.
That's stock in the company.
Yeah, dude. Come on now.
That's a shareholder position.
Yeah. For real.
That's funny. Yeah, things have definitely changed a lot.
Yeah, you know, but it's good and bad, man. Yeah. You get the tattoo shows, you got the pros and cons of that. Yeah. You know, everyone thinks they know about tattooing now. That kind of sucks, but at the same time, it showed there's good work out there, and there shows there's shitty work out there too. Yeah. But
I feel like tattoo shows were better for tattooing than social media has been for tattooing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
Way less editing. On those, you know, because even you can watch Ink Master and you're like looking at them on the screen when they're reviewing it, and you're like,
huge,
dude, and it's terrible on there. You're like, oh, bro, but you know it's better in real life. And now it's like, dude, all like the fucking editing is insane now. I still use my cell phone.
Yeah,
I ain't using crazy cameras. And touche, it's working for them.
Yeah,
you know, tattooing, good tattoos are like 30% of your job. The rest is your marketing.
Yeah.
It's how you get people in the door. Yep. But when they start leaving and seeing their healed shit not looking like what they're like, what the fuck is this, dude?
Yeah.
So
that doesn't look like it did in your portfolio.
Yeah. So
certainly doesn't look like a picture on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, we're crossing that uncanny valley. I mean, I see anything on Instagram now, and I'm like, I don't know, is this real? Is this AI? It's hard to even tell anymore.
Shit's insane now.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And bad at the same time because you don't know what to believe anymore.
I don't know what to believe anymore. It's everything, dude. Yeah. I'm like, I see that new trailer coming out. That movie looks dope. Like, dude, that's AI. It's not real. I'm like, fuck.
Some of those look good. I wish they'd make them.
It. Yeah.
Hollywood be damned.
I'm old now.
Yeah. Those like live action looking like South Park and Mario. And I'm like, dude, those look awesome. I'm like, good. Please just make that movie.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Like, figure out how to get Nintendo or Trey Parkey and them involved so you don't get sued, and let's make them. Let's go AI, dude, because that shit's rad.
It's getting to people's privacy, though. You know, you got people. You know, I saw a story of someone had an OnlyFans and stuff all using AI of this chick.
Oh, yeah.
She, you know, she got sent to her dad or some shit. And he's like, what is this? She's like, I swear to God, I'm not doing it. Yeah, okay. No one's going to believe that because it looks realistic as shit.
You only need what? It used to be like an hour of audio to like completely, and I'm sure it's way less now. And I don't know how much video you need. Maybe a picture, one picture.
Yeah.
Two, maybe a 10-second clip of a video to like fucking AI to figure out your mannerisms and make a
Black Mirror is here, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's here.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I mean, it's fun. The cool shit that can be done with it. Yeah.
It's fun, but you know, you got all that stuff's it's taking over our electric grid, but that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. You know, that's like it already has started to, and
well, they got to make a power grid to keep it up.
They do, yeah.
The only way to make it faster and better is to build nuke plants now. So Google's like building a nuclear power plant.
It's crazy, man.
Just to power AI.
Yeah. It's cool. It is kind of cool. As a sci-fi kids, it's cool. Like, I mean, Terminator is like a documentary at this point. Like, you're like, oh yeah, dude, that's
Star Wars and Star Trek are becoming true. I mean, we got Amazon; they're basically the evil empire.
Yeah,
you know, they will be the empire,
and I love them.
The galactic empire.
It's so convenient. You know, it's great.
Yeah. I love it. Shooting bitches into space now.
They are, man. No problem, too.
10-minute ride.
Yeah. It's nuts. Yeah, it's cool.
Good times. Yeah. So obviously tablet would probably be your preferred over paper. I would assume.
For like designing tattoos?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, and I'm not doing too much custom stuff these days,
right.
but when I have to do it, yeah, it's easier just to get rid of a layer than it is to start all over. So, but I still like to do pen sketch, color pencil, Prismacolor, you know, I don't do them as much, like Copics and stuff, but yeah, I still paint. I like to do it, just not as much as I used to.
But you just don't have time. I mean, you're a top owner, you got
digital.
kids, everything else. Yeah.
I don't do real estate on the side now. I'm like, all right, well, that's just taking more time out from tattooing, I guess.
Exactly.
But I do like the tablet. I use it every single day. So I don't.
It's unavoidable at this point.
It is. It's making it just so much easier. And it's making it so I'm doing better tattoos. Like, if I can make it, like, people that freehand tattoos, cool. And I think it's super impressive. Yeah. At the same time, if you would have spent time on a tablet designing that, is your tattoo going to be better? Of course it's going to be better. But you got these Polynesian guys, all these crazy. I'm like, dude, they're doing it perfect because they're shaping it perfect to the, you know, to the arm. You know, it's not a perfect cylinder. Everything's perfect. And you're like, dude, that shit's insane to me. Yeah. Like some of these artists, like was it Julian Siebert, however you say his name? He's just two hands on the back, ambidextrous drawing, and then just annihilates that tattoo. You're like, bro, what tism do you have that you're getting away with this shit, bro? Yeah. Like, holy
Have you seen that chick that, like, will go to a convention, she'll have the kid, the dude's getting tattooed, sit right there, and she just starts tatting. She draws like a straight line, and that's, okay, boom, and then she just starts tatting it in. And it looks like a fucking painting. And, I mean, it's accurate. It's accurate as fuck.
It's insane, dude.
Yeah, no nothing. Just looking at the kid, tat. Looking at the kid, tat. It's, there's a few people who can get away with that. Yeah. You know,
you know we can thank vaccines for this.
No, just kidding. That's a whole other episode, too. Maybe. We'll find out if we ever can untake the money away and the interest away. And
like,
really
is more vaccines going to make me a better artist?
I don't know.
Yeah, go and do it. 100%. Yeah.
I mean, at that point, right? You know? Yeah, you get a little older, and it's like any advantage you can get, you know? You need them.
Yeah.
The kids are getting good.
They're
fast.
so good. It's at anything. Sports, whatever. Yeah. You got these kids,
skateboarding,
4 years in tattooing, destroying me.
Yeah.
You got these... I ain't gonna say, I guess it, like, for a while I was like, females ruining tattoo and making it so pussified. Can't do anything, can't haze anymore. Now I'm like, oh, that girl's good. She's annihilating. She's crazy good.
They've earned their place.
For sure.
I mean, they always have. There was a few back in the day that were great.
You know, and it was all just out of, I guess I was hating out of jealousy. Like, dude, if I had tits to just expose all the time to get more followers, would I do that? Yeah, of course I would do that. Yeah.
Everybody would.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We're just jealous haters, you know? Like, they're just using that
there's
to their advantage.
2 groups. There's one group that's really talented and has tits and uses it, and then there's a group that has no fucking talent whatsoever and just uses, like, I'm sure
they're busier than me.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
But hey, you can back it up. Fuck yeah.
Exactly.
Plenty. You know, I did a convention in Iowa, Des Moines, middle of the map. What was that, 2 weeks ago or whatever?
Okay.
Half and half, female to male artists. It's just such a difference, you know? You don't hear coil machines, so it's quieter. Besides just 7 different types of music going on at one time, and it's and it's cool, man. Like, it's cool. It's cool to see that.
People don't realize that tattooing has basically always been a woman-driven industry from the client perspective. I mean, you've always think, biker dudes and whatever, but, like, girls low-key were getting tattooed way more than men pretty much since, like, the 20s
Tramp Stamp Central, dude. You're doing them every fucking day.
It's like makeup, right? Like, anything that can make you more beautiful at the... Boom, done. Tattoos are that, you know? So, tattooing's always been kind of...
It was. I've always tattooed a lot of females, you know, because Suicide Girls was the big at that time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so...
Well, and let's be honest, who would you rather tattoo? Girls smell better, they sit better, they tip better, and their skin's always in better condition because they take care of it.
I know, no, it is. And actually, I don't mind doing the girly stuff anyway, like the Pinteresty tattoos. I like it, dude.
It's fun.
It looks good. You know, I know the new trend of, like, maybe tribals, all the dot work, mandala shit. I don't care. I have it on my head. I think it holds up good over time.
Oh, yeah.
It looks really good. The Geo stuff's awesome. Girls are getting that. The peony stuff's overtaking roses, which is cool because we did roses for years.
Ever.
Peonies, like, I don't know why it took so long for that shit to kick in, but it did.
Right.
And, no, I like it. But I like doing horror stuff, but girls are getting horror stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's
almost more than men now. It seems like.
Yeah, they're into it. So. I don't know.
They watch IDTV.
Their skin's good. Yeah. Oh man.
They're infatuated.
Every woman's plotting to kill a man, dude. I've come to conclude. Like IDTV on. Yeah.
Don't eat the soup.
Yeah, for
if
sure.
You're sick. Don't eat the soup.
Yeah, man. It's for sure, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have all dealt with some crazy women. So you know.
Yeah. They watch another woman put on makeup and talk about how this person murdered that person.
Yeah.
That's entertainment nowadays.
It's nuts, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit done changed, and it's still kind of the same. Well, people are still getting flowers. They still, the core reasons behind it is still just the beautification or trying to look tough. Dude, there's definitely the
that thing's gonna go off for a minute.
That's funny.
Should I shut it off?
It's all good. I don't care. It makes it funny.
Yeah. Every day at 6 p.m. I don't know what happened.
The whole point of this show is it's just kind of unedited. We don't. Whatever happens.
I always know when it's 6 p.m. here, so that's nice. Yeah.
Nice. That's funny.
Yeah, dude,
it's like a watch. I got a watch. I got a G-Shock. I still have no idea how to set. It goes off at 11 o'clock every night. Man. I have no idea how to
I have
fucking
nothing.
do it.
Yeah. I have alarms going off 11:11 so I can make my wish. Just fucking.
There you go.
Gay, dude. Just like doesn't even matter, dude. I'll do that shit all the time, bro.
Numerology, man. There's something to it. Enough people are into it. There's got to be something.
It's got to be.
Even if it's just manifesting. Even if you're just
manifesting. It's all it is.
Yeah.
I'm making wishes. So many times per day, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. Sometimes I do that with line work. I'm like, you can't draw a crooked line. And as I'm pulling a line, I'm just like telling myself this mantra as I'm going.
Dude, it's like Buddhist trick. You'd be like, stay on that stencil, stay on that stencil, stay on that stencil. Dude, it works when you're saying it in your head.
Yeah.
But when I'm drawing at home, dude, I'm making some tism noises, bro, when I'm doing it. Like, there's that one dude does the anime tattoos. He's doing all the sound effects. He does all the reels all the time. He's like,
I've never seen that guy. That's
hilarious, dude. He's like, gonna put it in this way. Like, dude, it's...
Oh, that's funny.
He figured it out. His shit's funny. It's fun to watch. His tattoos are fucking killer. So, yeah. It's
all
awesome.
it takes.
Yeah. He's good.
Being a character on top of being good is really marketable
fun,
right
man.
now. It's super marketable.
And I feel like me and Hale always stay busy because we're personable with clients. I've worked with people that are such
that's a huge one.
asses to them, and they're like, I'm not as busy. Well,
the art school kids, man. The elitists. The art elitists.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. And they're good.
So what? Everyone's good.
Yeah, you're good and all, but come on. Clients like to have that. Some clients don't. They'll put on headphones. They don't want to hear a fucking word I have to say. But guess what? Those headphones die eventually, and they have to listen to me. And they may not like my dark humor, but hey, you got to read a room also.
For sure.
Yeah, you got.
That's part of being a salesman. I mean, I've always said, people, what do you do? And I'm like, I sell water to somebody who's drowning, dude. This is the last thing you fucking need.
Yeah, you don't need it.
And I can
luxury as luxury gets. Yeah.
And still very working class.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? It's not Gucci. It was like, it's like a Gucci bag. I'm like, way fucking cooler than a Gucci bag, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
you got these women wanting these blue collar dudes, and I'm like, this is kind of blue collar. What do you mean? Like, I'm a working class dude. What are you talking about?
You said a thousandaire.
Yeah, a thousandaire. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like everybody's trying to turn it into this like thing. I don't think it is. That's another thing I think our generation gets kind of upset about is that, there are people who are the Mercedes and the Lamborghini of tattooing, but overall tattooing is not that, nor should it be.
Nah.
It's not a bourgeoisie thing. It's not just for elites, Joe Rogans, and
exactly.
It's for Tom down the street that flips burgers at McDonald's, dude.
Yeah.
It's for that kid just as much as it is for anybody else.
It is, dude. Yeah. And those guys will get you more clients. I've tattooed celebrities and maybe on social media that
it'll
makes
get you some
good.
likes.
It'll get you likes and all that, but that dude that works out the window at McDonald's that's handing you your change and has a dope tattoo or something,
that barista
gonna get you more clients than these celebrities ever did.
Barbers, barbers, Well, that's why they all look like us now too.
They do. All the barbers look like us.
It's the worst. Or chefs.
People ask, you a tattooer, barber, or construction worker? I was like, fuck, dude.
Right?
I'm a real estate agent. I don't say any. Yeah, I do real estate. Yeah, I sell homes.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's another thing that TV kind of influenced. I remember there was an era when people would walk in and they had a real specific set of questions. How much for a sleeve was a real good one for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How much for a sleeve? Yeah. And then, what famous people have you tattooed? Was always such a good one back in the day. Like, when I was in Hawaii, must have been 05, 06, 07, right around that era. It was real. Who'd you tattoo? Any famous people? Yeah. They're fucking throwing your portfolio pages over like they give zero fucks about them at all. Yeah. Just whipping through to find. They care
about that shit, man.
Oh, it was the worst.
And me, like being a movie buff, never thought tattooing would even bring me to that level of even. But you think about it now, you're like, yeah, they all have tattoos. They're getting them from somewhere. And like, you know, most of them don't have good tattoos because they're so busy that their agents just, all right, I found someone for you. Yeah. You know, they don't have the time to do the research.
And if, let's just say so-and-so comes to you and they want a tattoo that's completely out of your range, you're not saying no.
Yeah.
You're not going to, you know, like you might turn down the average Joe Schmo that comes into your shop because he wants a fucking photorealistic thing and you're like, I'm the trad guy. But, you know, somebody famous comes, oh, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. They just, they get hacked up by people, man.
And some of these fucks are ruining it. You got your, as talented as they are, you got your Post Malones, you got your fucking Machine Gun Kellys, you got your Pete Davidsons, Jelly Rolls, all these shit at least Jelly Roll did time, probably got him in jail. These shit tattoos, and it's trending so hard right now.
Well, I used to say Lil Wayne was ruining tattooing fucking 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He was ruining rap and tattooing.
Yeah, I mean, I like him.
I didn't dislike his
I like his work ethic. That's about it, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, he made some fun songs.
He
there
did.
Was a couple things I didn't hate.
Hard-ass worker.
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, you're right, dude. It is all these. I'm like, dude.
He made everybody want a $20 fucking Friday the 13th
$13 Friday the 13th sleeves these days. It's like they just took it, the whole sheet that we have, placed it on them, and just started doing. I'm like, bro.
Chipotle bags, right?
Yeah, we're covering them constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the kids are learning, like you said. They're starting to, you know, those ones are getting a little older now. 10 years later, they're like, oh, man, they're seeing what can really be done. Yeah. And they're like, fuck, I want that. And it's like, oh, you fucked up, kid. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's always been the thing. I'll never forget. I used to not want to do names back in the day. I never wanted to, you know, I didn't want that karma on my you know. Because 90% of the time it fucking does not work 60% of the time.
Yeah, it's like the worst luck you could do. It's literally just throwing bad luck in there.
I've had people come back 2 days later.
Yeah.
Oh, man, she broke up with me because I got her name. Can you cover it? I'm like, when it heals?
Yep. He made me do it, and now we broke up because it caused a fight. Like, all that. I'm like, oh, man.
Absolutely.
Now you got this. There was an argument. I don't fucking know. One of these tattoo talk pages. Someone posted about this dude had a swastika and some dude covered it for free or whatever, and someone's like, I will never cover a swastika. You want to be an asshole, you wear that for the rest of your life. I'm like, really? Really? Coming from the person that thinks genders can change? You don't think people can change on how they are in life? Right. Like, get out of here with that shit. Like, yeah, I'm a Jew and I'll cover that stuff. I'm not going to do one. Yeah. You know, but 100%, you want that shit covered? Yeah. Fuck yeah, I've covered plenty of them, you know? Like,
it's our job is to cover mistakes.
People were in shit. Maybe it was their survival mode in prison. Maybe it was something. I don't know their story. I'm going to hear it.
Yeah.
You know,
let me get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or some people maybe didn't even change that. They just don't want to be known as that. That's a different story. Yeah. Oh, you're still a piece of shit? Nah. You keep it then. Like, But other than that, no. I mean, who cares, man?
Have you seen the interview with Philip Liu where he was asked to do Hitler's portrait?
Oh, shit.
And some black guy was like, you should have did it because he turned him down. And I guess the kid found somebody else to do it. And he came back and showed Philip, like, check it out. Somebody did it. Ha, ha, ha. You know? Yeah. And the black guy said, why didn't you do it? He's like, you know, mark him. Let everybody know he's a piece of shit, exactly. Right? You know, like, don't turn that down. Yeah. Like, you
want a swastika, I'm going to do it on your forehead. That's it. You want that shit? There you go.
It's off limits, No, I mean, I've always kind of torn with that because I mean, coming from the Midwest, you know, there's a lot of Confederate flags. I did Taz holding the fucking flags, dude, all day long. You know,
like, Pantera stuff.
All that shit.
Confederate flags. And back then, I was ignorant. I didn't really know. I thought it was like
you just pick it and stick it, dude.
Yeah, I was like, cool. You want that? That's fine. Yeah, I wore shirts with Confederate flag, Pantera shirts. They had them. Yeah. I didn't know any better. Yep. You know, it's fucking. Internet wasn't huge back then. That's enough to like research.
Things were different.
The history of everything, and even then, you want to rock that? That's whatever. You can say it's for a different reason. We all know what it is. Yeah. It's like all this Viking stuff is the new.
Oh yeah,
proud to be white tattoos.
So much of it's not even Viking.
It's not. It's like so proud to be white tattoos. Which whatever. I'm not getting Jewish tattoos on me. Yeah. Like because you know that's frowned down upon pretty much. But you know, but it is what it is. You know, I just I don't know. Everyone has something to bitch about, and that's me. Yeah. You know, I went from coming back from Iraq, getting so mad at America for their first world problems that they bitch about. I became that, of course. You're gonna adapt to that. Now I bitch about the dumbest shit.
Well, it's funny. You have to be careful what you complain about because it consumes your life and it eventually takes you over and you become it.
It does, man. It does,
I don't remember if it's Voltaire or not, but it says, when fighting monsters, one must be careful not to become one themselves.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah, it's true.
It absolutely is.
Oh, dude, I was... At one point, I was probably homophobic as shit at one point, you know? And I was like, yeah, that's just gay.
You came from a small area,
that's weird, right? You know? I came from a small town.
You weren't exposed to it.
I wasn't.
If you grew up in San Francisco,
we weren't
you were
a diverse
a completely different kid.
Yeah, we were like third least diverse state in America in Maine. So, like, we had maybe 2 black people in my school, and they were adopted by a white family and stuff
and you
like
had Spose.
that. And we have, that's a homie of mine. Oh, yeah, for sure. He's awesome. Awesome. And then... and then going to the Marine Corps, and it's super diverse, and I loved that. You know, I was like, dude, this is cool. You're getting in all these cultures and all this stuff, you know.
Well, and the only color that matters is green, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or brown or whatever.
And I loved it. And same thing with, you know, the whole LGBT, all those letters movement. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, dude. That's cool. Do your thing, dude. Yeah.
Doesn't affect me at all.
You're good people. I don't give a shit, you know. But
a lot of our clients.
Yeah. At the same time, I don't have to agree with anything. I have a lot of the clients. They don't care. They make fun of it. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm going to play it safe, but yeah, that's cool, dude. Yeah.
I mean, it's like comedy. If you can't joke about it, it's bullshit.
It's fun, dude.
It's bullshit if you can't joke about it.
Yeah. It is what it is, dude. I mean, shit, I just had a drag show in Iowa. At one of the oldest gay bars in America, actually, called Blazing Saddles, man. It was dope.
Oh, I've heard of that place.
It was dope. Yeah, it was fun. It was crowded in there. We lasted like a half hour. I'm like, all right, let's go somewhere else.
I used to go to the gay 90s in Minneapolis because a homie of mine spun there.
That shit's fun.
The best party in the world,
it's
man.
It's fun, man. Yeah.
Everybody there's just having a good fucking time.
Yeah, it's fun. That's all it is. It's who cares, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to agree with shit to still respect people. Like
exactly.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
same thing in tattooing.
Yeah.
People... I'm a realist, usually do, I guess, hyper-realism-ish stuff, but, dude, I love tattoos. I love traditional.
Yeah.
You give me a clean tribal, bro, fucking tight, dude.
Dude, tribal's sick as fuck.
It is coming back, bro. It's coming back, dude. Yeah. It is. Anything, dude, I like tattoos. Like, it doesn't matter. If it's a clean tattoo, I fucking love it. There's something about the simplicity of traditional, that was just bold, crisp lines with that perfect, like, consistent pepper like shading, dude. That's sick.
Like a Chambers.
Dude. It's cool. Yeah, dude,
it just looks like a machine made it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's fucking dope, dude. Yeah, all that stuff. Good realism, dope. But throw some lines in that shit. Yeah. If you're not gonna throw a ton of black in it, dude. Yeah. I still put lines in it. Yeah. And for a while, you would have a realism artist being like, "It's not realism," but they stopped complaining about it because the shit holds up. They don't care. Mixed styles are cool. Crazily, and it's looking good, dude.
It looks great.
It looks great because he's talented, man. He knows what he's doing. He can apply a tattoo. But yeah, he's realized, hey, some of this shit's not aging well.
Yep.
Steve Butcher stuff, maybe some of it's not aging well. Is it unbelievably impressive? Yeah, you're doing an oil painting on that person's skin. That's insane.
Or making a photo.
Yeah, it's
close to a photo as you can
to think that that's even possible. Yeah, and but maybe it's not going to hold up over time, and we're realizing it's muddying up. Yeah, you need those lines in there.
Yeah, you need a foundation. A house needs a foundation. You can't just build a house on the ground and be like, here we go.
Yep.
It needs a foundation.
It does.
Black
it needs a border
and lines and a foundation.
Yeah, and
some styles can, like biomech, can kind of get away without.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, all those color lines, Guy Atchison stuff. Like,
because it's heavy contrast too.
Yeah, because the contrast is through the roof.
And he has the color theory he needs to do it. For sure. All those guys.
So I think a lot of people saw that and were like, "Oh, we can do this with everything else." No, not so much. Not so much.
I know. Yeah, they did, and they're learning it. I mean, you are. And I've always told you, you're never going to know. You got to wait 10 years before you bitch about a style. You got to know. It's going to take 10 years to realize, hey, this didn't hold up.
With your own work, too.
It is.
Because once you're 10 years in, you're looking back at your first year's work 10 years later.
Yeah. It's trial and error. Tattooing has always been trial and error. Because just because that person can do it doesn't mean you can.
Exactly.
You know, so.
Well, and like you said, places
applies differently. Yeah.
You know, where you live has a lot to do with you know, what kind of tattoos are going to work and which ones aren't.
Yep, exactly.
The old sun shining through right now.
Dude, every day. On my head,
but anyway, so back to the name thing. I got a little sidetracked there with you, but so I used to refuse to do them, and when I moved to Hawaii, my second mentor was like, "You fucking do names here." He's like, "No ifs, ands, or buts." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "I used to work at Sunset Strip with a guy that would make them 50% bigger for free every time." And I said, okay. And he goes, you know what the fuck he was doing? And I was like, well, I think so, but please enlighten me. And he's like, he's planting seeds. That's a cover-up. Yep. He goes, I'm either going to cover it up myself or somebody else in the industry is going to make a fuck ton of money covering up this ginormous fucking name.
Yep.
You know? So, yeah, I feel like a lot of kids are doing that for us nowadays. Unbeknownst to themselves with their fucking...
If they want names, I'm going to... Dude, I am going to take like a 3-4 drop black. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to... It's going to look dark when they leave because I'm going to go over it. But that shit's going to be light. By the time it heals sometimes.
You remember Huck Spalding A to Z.
Yeah.
Do it in pink. Do it in red. Do it in some color that's easy to cover up, right? To cover, Convince them. Like, oh, this looks so much better.
Yeah, this is sick. Yeah. What's our verse, though?
Yeah. What's your favorite color? Totally.
Yeah, because you know smart, it's just not going to work. Now, if someone's like... I had this old lady. She was 80s. Like at her 80s, and she's like, I want my husband's name on me, he passed away and stuff. Yeah. And as I'm tattooing, I was like, oh, do you have a lot of tattoos? No, you fucking hated tattoos. I was like, all right, well, why are you getting it? She goes, he was abusive as shit, and this is my payback to him when he fucking died. I was like, dope.
That's the best, right?
Savage, all right, I'm in. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah.
That's the best part about tattooing. Like you said before earlier, the stories, the people you meet. That shit's great, man.
That's but sometimes it's too much. You'll be like 3 lines in, and they're like, so I was raped when I was like 14. I was like, bitch, start with like your favorite color. Like, I don't want to fucking hear this shit, dude. Like, let's calm this down. Right. Take it back like 20 steps, you know? It's really
we can get
dark in here. Yeah, we'll get to that. But, oh, man, some people just immediately knowing you, it's like, I'm not a licensed therapist. You might think I am, but I have guaranteed more fucking problems than you have going on. Yeah, I have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll say shit that's going on with me with clients. I have people that work with me that hate that I do that, but I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm an open book. I've always have been.
Yeah.
You surf, you get what you get right here, and if I say too much that's going on in my life, like, it's not affecting me business-wise. Maybe for some people, I might lose a client out of 20 because they're like, this dude's got a lot of shit going on. Drama going on. Cool, whatever.
Well, I've always said every therapist needs a therapist, too.
Yeah.
I've never met a therapist, a real legit one that didn't, like,
they have therapists. They have therapists, for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep. And that's part of it. And it is part of our job. It's one of the many hats we wear.
Yeah.
We have to be artists, we have to be marketers, social media managers, all these things. But therapist or whatever, it's always been one of them. I mean,
it's crazy, dude.
People open up almost immediately. Yeah, especially when they're by themselves, they're uncomfortable, they're in pain. So they a lot of times, like you said with the thing, they just go to the deepest, darkest fucking thing they have to kind of fight the pain of the tattoo.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's not as bad as that. You know, like, and that's why a lot of that stuff surfaces. I feel like,
and a lot of it, especially those stories I was saying, it's hard for men to relate to it in general because I'm one of those, like, you could get date raped as a man, you get drugged, but I mean, let's face it. Can a man get raped?
Can't rape the willing.
Yeah, like I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I was in a relationship and that happened, that's fucked. But if I was single and that happened, I'd be like, bro, guess what happened last night? That shit was tight.
It's like all these
it's
teachers.
Not the same,
it's like all these teachers with these 15-year-old kids. Everyone's like, oh my god, they're pedophiles. I'm like, no, they're not. Like, that's hot for teacher. Like, that 14 to 15-year-old kid.
It's wrong, but at the same time, every man dreamed of it.
It's a double standard.
And the teachers are hot, bro. Like, what?
Yeah.
No. My teachers?
No. Not even. No. I know, right?
I mean, I would because it's a story.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Like, everybody's like, oh, they got damaged. They just don't know it yet. I'm like, they're not damaged. They're the coolest kid in fucking class. They're like, yeah, dude, she gave me a blowjob.
Dude, like, like that movie, That's My Boy. Video. Like, dude, that's a perfect example. Like,
it's like being the fucking high school football star who wins the game.
Yeah, dude.
It's basically the equivalent. Like, there's no damage there. There are differences.
There is huge difference
operate in the world for sure,
and that is the difference between the two. Men and women is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
You can't rape the willing.
Twisted humans out there. Yeah, I know, dude. Like I said,
almost all men are willing.
Relationship wise, but don't put yourself in that position.
Right.
Take that. Don't take that in the wrong way. But, men, just don't put yourself in a situation that's going to happen. Yeah. You can't say the same because, shit, people are roofied a lot.
Men are horrible, dude. Yeah, we're evil. We're disgusting fucking pigs. Yeah.
It's pretty horrible.
And tattooing used to be a haven for a lot of that shit. Of course. Like, you were talking about the biker days, the breaking hands, and the real shit that really happened. You know, it's not just stories. Happening. It's not just a funny painting. Yeah. You know,
it's always has something to do with drugs. Drugs are always involved, like into this, and there's still people in shops. There's still a lot of people. Dude, don't fucking shit where you eat, man. Yeah. Like, let's take it easy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Eventually, you're gonna lose money.
Well, and that's what I like about what's going on now. That is one of the good things about social media. You know, like you've seen the surviving, and then insert whoever's fucking Instagram name. And then everybody piles on, and this guy's a piece of shit, and he did this, and he did this to me, and they just get ran out of the fucking.
It got carried away, for sure. Like everything else, like that Tattoo Me Too movement was great at first for what it was, and then it was a whole page. Has your tattoo artist ever flirted with you? Has your tattoo artist? Like anything I could say could be considered flirting because I like funny shit, and I'm
trying to lighten the mood.
Like that could be taken as that, but you're gonna Me Too me? Like what? Don't do that. Like I've seen. Wrongfully accused. I've seen a lot, especially in the military, you know, and there is that. So it sucks for the women that are true victims.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they're the ones that are the victims of the overuse of the tool.
Yeah, because you got police now, you got other people that are like, here we go, same old story. Like, let's see, you know? Yeah, it sucks.
For sure.
And the tattoo industry has definitely been known for some pretty shitty stuff.
Scumbags, dude. Yeah. Just fucking scumbags. And I'm glad that that's kind of coming to light. And, you know, I mean, that's the softening of tattooing that I'm all right with.
For sure.
People are treated better on average when they walk into a tattoo shop in America. Yeah. Most parts of America.
Yeah, female apprentices. Like, I was sexually harassed all the time. Yeah, so wasn't I. Oh, fuck you. Now, were you assaulted? Complete difference. Now, that's terrible.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Did someone say something to you?
Did you get tased in the pussy like we got tased in the balls when tasers came out?
Exactly, man. Like, you...
You know,
if you were assaulted, if they physically assaulted you or any of that stuff, or made you feel so uncomfortable that like you had to do something in order to, bribed you, that's terrible.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible shit, you know, but...
Well, that's the scummy shit.
If there's like, nice tits or something, like, come on! Are they nice? Like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No. That is the thing, though. Tattooing's always been kind of boys' club.
It has been, man.
And it is changing, and it's changing for the better. But
women weren't allowed in my unit in the Marine Corps when I was in, and then I went straight from that to tattooing. So, do I work well with women? Not always, because I talk like a... I was sailor Marines, and I talk I always say, this is a safe space. Safe to say whatever you want, you know?
It's international waters.
You can say what you want. Goes. But, dude, I get along with so many people.
Yeah.
You know, I'm easy to get along with, so I'm like,
it's part of the job.
Starting to get, as I get older, maybe I'm not. You know, there's plenty of women I've met in this industry who do not like me. Yeah. Because I will say what's on my mind. Yeah. They have anything bad that I've done, anything illegal, or not, absolutely not, but... Maybe I'll say something they don't like, maybe sexist.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
You know, but it's 90% of the time it's a joke. Right. Like, come on, it's a joke. Come on. Yeah.
Well, and tattooing's always been filled with, and that's the thing. Like, the ladies that fit into tattooing 20, 30, 40 years ago were more savage than the dudes they worked around.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they survived.
It's like female police.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Best. Yeah, they're dirty-minded. They say funny shit. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. They were one of the boys.
Yeah, one of the
quotes. Yeah, they had to be.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and that's changed a bit. And softened up. And I feel like there are some people who are a little maybe hypersensitive that are trying to be tattooers. And I'm like, that's cool.
You get all-female shops now.
It's kind of like comedy, right? You know, they're trying to be. There's like woke comedians now, and it's not going so well because comedy is about being funny. Just be funny.
Yep.
You got a dick, you're a chick with dick and tits, it doesn't matter. Just be funny.
Yeah.
If you're funny, no one cares.
Yeah.
You know, in a tattoo shop, the comedy that happens here, it's gallows humor, usually.
Yeah.
If you're funny, you're funny. It doesn't matter. Yeah. If you're a good tattooer, you're a good tattooer.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, too. Everybody's like, tattooing's always been so exclusive. And I'm like, if you were good, you were good.
Yeah.
Cliff Raven was gayer than the day was long. He's one of the people in my family tree of tattooing.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a fuck how gay he was.
Nope.
They were like, damn, dude. You just drew that on?
Yeah.
You just tattooed that with no stencil?
Yeah.
He was notorious. He didn't have a thermofax at his shop. People hated working with him because they're like, I got to draw everything? Yeah, you got to draw everything.
Yeah.
Or you're going to bust out an acetate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no light box. You better tape that shit to the window.
Yeah.
I'm tattooing at night. You figure that shit out then.
Yeah, exactly. At night. Because that's when everybody got tattooed.
Yeah. You better fucking turn that TV on. Use that static electricity on it and just
get outside on the opposite side of the neon and do your tracing.
Yeah, that shit. So many times I've used the TV, bro. The boob tubes. You know, you can't do the flat screens now, but boob tubes.
The old school,
Yeah, it worked. Yeah. Turn it on like the VCR mode where it's just blue.
Yep.
Yeah, as a kid, that's how I drew. You know, just tracing my own drawings. So yeah.
find a way.
Dude, it was fun.
Yeah, I feel like that. At the end of the day, I like that it's kind of like a meritocracy of just be good. Like, you know, man, if you're good, it doesn't matter, dude. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter. We all respect people, you know, no matter what you're into, no matter what your pronouns or your profile says. Like, I don't give a fuck. I look at if you're good. Are you good? And then the other thing, too, is if you're a good person. You know, because everybody's good nowadays. Like, there's so many kids that are good tattooers, but they're shitty human beings.
Yeah,
and I'm
terrible.
like, okay, well, you're good. So what? So's everyone else.
Yeah.
But, you know, the clients are the ones that sort that out. You know, that's not our job to be. You know, we can, if they're a real piece of shit, obviously, like, oh, fuck them, you know, put them on blast or whatever. Or you see them at a show and you tell them to go fuck themselves or whatever. But, like, at the end of the day, the clients will regulate that. You know, like you said, they're not busy. And they wonder why they're not busy. And it's like, because you're a fucking piece of shit, dude.
We've passed down knowledge. We've had knowledge passed down over the years. Like this whole fucking tattooer, I'm self-made bullshit. Get out of here. You ain't self-made. You learn everything you learned from somebody else. Yeah. Like maybe like you get your Carl Grace prison tattooing. Became phenomenal, free-handed everything, and he's just good at what he does. Yeah, exactly. Maybe them, you know, maybe those guys, like, kind of, but they still learned as they got out. They still adapted to everything. Everything's no such thing as self-made. They still looked at Renshaw and Terrell and everybody else that was killing it when they came out and went, okay, well, you know, how do I do that? You know, like, they're influenced. Maybe I take it too literal when people say that, and that's not really what the saying means, but that's how I take it. And I'm like,
I've always hated that too.
Bro, what are you talking about? Like, who'd you learn from? Like, you know, everything. You've learned everything from everyone else. Like, geez.
The people you surround yourself with, your circle. Which is super important, right? You know, surround yourself with people who are as good as you or as driven as you or, you know, even better. Exactly.
I try not to, you know, I've had artists under me follow artists that really are not killing it. And they'll make fun of it. Like, look at this shit they're putting out. Look at this shit. Well, don't follow them.
Yeah.
Follow better. Like, you're going to learn from that. This was an ego booster for you? Because who gives a shit?
Jerry Springer?
Your ego booster needs to be busted down by looking at this motherfucker right here who's just killing the game right now. And, you got to be looking at that stuff. Because, dude, I'll do a tattoo. Fucking, I'm like, dude, honestly, I'm so stoked about this tattoo. And, you know, that's rare every now and then when you're stoked about a piece. And that cool, I'm going to go post it on Instagram. You just open up Instagram, the first 2 tattoos come up, you're like, fuck.
Not even,
Fuck, dude.
People always ask why.
This dude in a country I can't even pronounce just did this? Are you serious? What the fuck?
Yeah, he's a fifth of the years in the
dude, just fucking killing it, dude. I'm like, god damn it, dude. Even in America, you got these guys who are just crushing it. You're like,
so good.
They just have that better knowledge of art than I do.
Well, they're just,
you know, I wasn't a great artist getting into this. You know, I learned to do tattoo art. You know, and then I was like, try to do realism. I did this. I think the first one was either a Shining or Ash Evil Dead piece on one of my buddies back in Maine, and I was like, yeah, dude, that looks like shit, but I had so much fun doing it. I have to learn this. So I'd watch. Most things I've learned realism are from Pooch. Pooch taught me most things I know about color theory, realism, everything. You know, I've been very close to them for years, and not as much anymore, but we still talk. But whatever. Him, this dude Chad Chase, and then I'd watch. You know, Mike DeVry was just killing it back in the day. Although Evan Olin, you know, he's a buddy of mine who's just next level. Like shit he does is just healed, immaculate. Like you're like, all right, this is a realism artist and knows realism art how it's gonna heal, and just all those guys. So, you know, I was like picking their brains, and some of them are too nice to be like, oh no, you did good. Pooch was really nice about it. Chad would be like, fuck no, dude. Less lines, more black. What the fuck is this, dude? He was very harsh on it, and he was. I learned a lot from that, you know. And you need those guys in your life because some people don't have what it takes. I'm too nice sometimes with people when I'm like, no, dude, that's a cool piece, but I would have done this. But realistic guys should be like, the fuck is that, dude? Like, but. You know, that's not going to help them by being too nice. You got to learn how people learn. Yeah. That's the hardest thing. Like, so many people think they should be training. Oh, I should have an apprentice. And, you know, it's like, no, dude. You might be good at tattooing, but you're not good at teaching tattooing. Exactly, yeah. Some people are better players than coaches. It's a whole other thing. Yeah. Some people can't play the game for shit, but are great coaches. Yeah, absolutely, because they understand how to break it down. Yeah, I mean, and that's the role. And that's why apprenticeships and all, it's just like, oh, my God. Dude, all these people stuff because it's so hard, it's so much work, it's so much effort. It is, and it's almost teaching. Like you need to apprentice people because all these people out here who haven't been apprenticed or anything, dude, they're impossible to work with. So you got to raise them how you need. And sometimes when you're apprenticing people, it's busting you down to back to their like to that like, oh yeah, dude, bringing you back to like you know, just fucking
You learn being a teacher.
Bringing out Barney style again, dude. Yeah, you're learning that. Like, oh yeah, I remember when I used to do it. Maybe I should try doing that again. Taking Cherry Creek, redrawing it to how it would be modern day or anything. Because I have a shit ton of that stuff. All that flash still, all that. Like, you know, and from shit, all that stuff. Trying to redraw, and I didn't. Tony C, all those fucking guys. Dude, it made me a lot of money. Yeah, you're not supposed to duplicate it into a tattoo, but I fucking did it, dude.
No, they all knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were getting into. Joe Cap, all those dudes are just... Yeah, their books, and I remember Joe's stuff was just, to me, insane. It's like, dude, just girls squirting everywhere, new school drawings and shit. You're like, bro, tight, dude.
Dude, everybody wanted a capo girl on their hand.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You had to.
That or like coop stuff, but, you know, stuff like
Which
that
was
cool.
even a little further.
Yeah,
a little more cheesecake.
It was,
more,
It was cool. Cool art.
Lowbrow.
Yeah.
For
like
sure.
Hot rod shit, dude.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All the Rat Fink days. And, yeah, it's fun, man.
Yeah, when I met Tony for the first time, I thanked him. I was like, hey, man. I gave him a big handshake. I just wanted to thank you. Like, I fucking made a lot of money off those books, bro. Thanks, dude. Really appreciate it. Yeah. And it was kind of funny because Timmy B was walking by and he overheard. And he's like, oh, yeah, man. Thanks, dude.
Dude, Timmy's. I was just with him last weekend, and, dude, that dude's... I mean, he's my favorite tattooer in general. And it's funny because I don't do new school. And realistically, I don't do too much Japanese, but those are the two styles I like the most. Especially, you know, you get some good Japanese, like bodysuits.
Bodysuits, dude.
Dude, that composition's perfection.
Unfuckwittable, man. It's the best.
It's so fucking... The heavy black with, like, the few tones you're going to use in there. Yeah. Next level. Yeah. In new school. You're doing shit. You're like, dude... I couldn't even draw that, bro, on paper. And you're just doing it so good. Like, he's the man, dude.
Yeah, even if you gave me color pencils and like 20 redos, I'd still,
he's so humble. Yeah. Like, he doesn't give a shit.
Well, that's the best part.
He's so nice, man.
He's a real one.
He is.
He doesn't let being good go to his head.
No, he doesn't. He likes the art. It's fun to him. He does his thing, goes home, fucking parties, whatever he wants to do, man.
Yeah. Life of a fucking good tattooer, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You wonder why everybody wants to be a tattooer. We all made it look too fucking cool. Because I'm sure you were taught the same shit. Like, fold your money with your ones on the outside. Don't have anything too fancy. When people ask... You know, Friday the 13th, I always joke around. I'm like, every weekend used to look like Friday the fucking 13th, dude. Yeah. There was a line around the building of people waiting to get tattooed. That was every weekend. Yeah. I mean, I remember doing 10 to 15 tattoos in a day and 10 to 15 piercings on that same Saturday. That was a Saturday. Busy, man. That was just fucking Saturday.
And that was everyone doing 30 tattoos in the shop.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, I worked with a couple people.
Shit ton of shops. It wasn't dime a dozen out here. And don't get me wrong, you got dime a dozen, they're good. Like, some of these shops are fucking great, you know, and they're killing it. Yeah. Some of them are overcharging, some are undercharging, you know.
Yeah.
It's what it is, you know.
I mean, that's with anything, with saturation levels getting to where they are, which I don't think, I mean, people say tattooing is oversaturated, but if you look at auto mechanics, plumbers, electricians, any other kind of craft where you're a craftsman, we're at about where they're at.
Yeah.
With the amount of
different craft, but yeah, of course.
But the amount of competition is about the same.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, I don't feel like it's completely... I mean, it's close. It's borderline oversaturated. Certain towns are. Yeah. Certain towns are completely undersaturated.
Styles are.
Well, that too.
Your black and gray realism out here is oversaturated because we're in a predominantly Hispanic area. That's what people get. So, of course. Luckily for me, I do... Color realism-ish shit. It's not that oversaturated, but
there's only a couple of you guys.
Yeah, and, you know, and you've got some great ones out here. Yeah, there's some great ones out here. Yeah.
Anybody that wants that style is pretty lucky because there's no bad choice really out here.
No. As long as you do your research, Some of them are hidden. They don't market enough. You know, like... You know, got Jeremy Brown working here. Jeremy, his healed shit's immaculate, bro.
Yeah, I know.
No, he's good. He's
good. People don't even realize he's just down the street. Yeah, I'm like, I can walk there from there.
Yeah, literally, it's not far at all.
Nope.
You got your guys just crushing the game, dude. And luckily, there are only a few.
Yeah. Like for now. That's why I love Japanese.
Yeah. You have to go to San Diego usually. Yeah, that's the closest around Orange County. Yeah. Oh, here it's very few.
There's a few people who do it the American traditional way, the Jerry kind of look in, Ed look in, and that's cool, super fun. Yeah. But you know, if you want like a back piece or a bodysuit or a real sleeve, and you know the history and the reasons, because there's so much more to that than just it looks cool.
Exactly. That's why I don't touch too much of it.
Right.
I know there's rules.
Oh man, so many.
And you know, with traditional, there's always rules. I had somebody give me shit. Oh, you put white, you put teal in that. I'm like, dude, I didn't get into art art to follow rules. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
It's not what I got into this for. You want to bitch about the rules of realism, bitch about it. Nah. Yeah. I don't. Well, does it look cool? That's cool. Yeah.
I've seen people make the argument that Jerry was such a forward-thinking, ahead of his time person that if white would have been a real... I mean, I've got pictures of Jerry's work that have tons of white in it.
Yeah.
Tons of white.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just don't know. You know, all these kids that want to remake the old... It's like, you don't even know what you're talking about, man. Oh, that's the rules. I'm like, dude, you don't know shit about it.
You don't realize he was using a fucking tight 3.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, if that, you know.
If he'd have had teal that healed and looked like teal does now, he absolutely would have used it, dude.
He would have had... I'm excited to see these 14-round shader lines in fucking 20 years, though. That's going to be fun.
Oh, they're lighting them up, too. They're opening them up even more, bro.
They are. Lighting the tips and just fucking opening them. Yeah. It looks dope.
Looks like you did it with a 44 mag marker.
Man. That's gonna spread.
Well, we all know.
Or maybe not. Technology's different. It could be the technology is even different from that, but I don't think so.
It's ink and skin.
Because I'm seeing it.
There's 2 variables in tattooing always.
Yeah.
It's ink and skin.
Yeah.
None of the else matters. I don't care what machine you use. I don't care what needles you use. I don't care if you do it with a fucking bone. Ink and skin.
Yeah.
The only 2 parts of the process that last.
Yeah. And get rid of that fine line bullshit.
Unless you can do it right. If you do it the Chicano way, the real way, the Jack Rudy, the Freddie Negretti way, where it lasts.
But it looks like half of them, they're fucking doing it with the lightest wash from the get-go.
Yeah. They're doing an 08 or an 06 bug pen.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, they're doing it with like 1 drop. And I'm like, the fuck are you doing, dude?
People are getting it.
It'd be easy to cover.
It is so
easy.
It'd
be real easy to cover.
That's probably the fastest trend that's coming to an end, I feel, because people are finding like,
that one didn't take long to show how bad it is.
It did, man, And some of these people or the micro portraits, that's cool. I think it's impressive. I like that.
Ben Grillo's look great, but everybody else's, I don't know, man. I've seen Ben's 10 years later. They look good, dude.
I don't know. Yeah.
Fingers.
Yep.
He kills it. I don't know what he knows that we don't.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I'm glad he ain't teaching nobody.
It's a kill. Yeah. Whatever.
Because his shit looks phenomenal.
Yeah. My secret, I ain't telling you.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, fuck them. They ain't earned it.
Yeah.
You used to have to earn it. Now it's just, watch YouTube. This guy will teach you everything he doesn't know.
Yep.
And maybe you'll learn a thing, you know?
YouTube. Yeah. You can learn everything now.
Yeah.
Tattooing's kind of handed these days, but cool.
YouTube University. Well, I mean, look at the quality of tattoos that are coming out. It's so much better, so much faster.
Yeah.
Say, I never understood. Remember, you know, like, don't let him get any better than you, you know? Like, teach him one thing. Don't teach him everything. It's like...
Don't teach your competition.
Well, and that's they knew you'd go down the street eventually on them at some point in time, or you'd be across town, or you'd be 2 towns over. Yeah. Maybe that was part of it, but it's like, you're the shop owner, I'm your apprentice. Why don't you want me to do better tattoos?
Yeah,
I'm representing you.
Eventually, you're going to die or not be able to tattoo.
Yeah,
especially back in the day, like the longevity of tattooers is insane. Like you had the Lyle Tuttles and stuff, bro. If I was still using coils like you guys, dude, I'm a puss, bro. My hands are not going to handle that shit, dude. No fucking way, dude. I'm not going to do that. No, hell no.
But I never understood that whole don't make them good thing.
Nah, dude.
Like,
nah.
That's the thing.
You want them to be successful, man. Yeah. They're a reflection of you, and they're the future.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You got to pass on to the generations.
I get kind of slow trickling the knowledge.
Oh, for sure.
Make sure they earn it. Make sure they don't run down the street because, they offered me 70-30, bro. I gotta take it. Like, fuck, you gotta take it. You gotta finish your apprenticeship, bro.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I know those people. No.
Yeah, we all do. We all got 1 or 2 of them in our past if we've tried.
Yeah. Grass is always greener, people say, but you keep your butt put.
Yeah.
Dude, you're gonna be busy forever because people are going to know you there.
Well, and then also,
unless there's problems in that shop and it's like you need to. It's toxic as fuck.
For sure. Absolutely. There's always exceptions. Yeah. But now, and people don't realize, bad gas travels fast. It might seem like it's a huge industry, but bro, I run into this, that, it's so small. Yep. It's so small.
It is.
It's,
especially in some of these towns, maybe not LA and shit, but even then, really.
Oh, LA's...
It's even worse, actually. Yeah. It's people know
shops. Because everybody's private studio there now. COVID changed that entire culture.
Yeah, I guess we can blame some of it on COVID.
Even
private studios.
Well, even just conventions in LA. There's not a tattoo convention for 100 miles in any direction of LA that's worth a shit.
No.
Nobody goes.
No.
Everybody's too fucking cool.
Yeah.
The best shows used to be there. Now it's San Diego or San Francisco or Sacramento or
shit. You
California
Iowa
has
one,
shit
dude.
for shows.
That middle of the map was busy as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, dude. It was nonstop. People weren't.
Yeah.
Dude, they weren't like
they don't
trying
handle.
to fucking not at all, bro.
That's what you want. Killer here. Boom. Let me know.
How much? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Midwest, just in general, any place. I feel like the problem we fight here is just like there's a Starbucks in every corner. There's a tattoo shop on every corner. It's not special here.
Yeah.
Going to get a tattoo in California, Southern California especially, is not fucking special.
No.
You can trip and fall into a complex and be like, oh, there's 6 tattoo shops here. Fuck.
Yeah, okay. Some have 2 in the same complex.
Oh, yeah, right across from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. The mall's got like 2 or 3 of them in it now.
And no shout-out windows? That's what I'm saying. It's industry, dude. What's going on with tattooing?
If it keeps getting bad, we're on a little bit of an upturn right now. You know, things are getting better again, but we'll see how much longer that lasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Tariffs and all these other factors that are going to come into play.
Yeah, it's going to affect us for sure.
Right? We'll see who wants to play.
Yeah.
But it's just oversaturated here. So you go to places where there's maybe one shop and the guys there are okay. But let me tell you, I've always said this for years. The people that tattoo out of their house here, that we all are just like, that guy fucking sucks. You see this shit? You know, you were saying people do that. You know, I try not to make a habit of it, but occasionally shit pops up and you're like, oh my God, this guy's, you know, because they pay for ads and you're like, fuck. But that guy in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, fucking Oklahoma, like those dudes are fucking killers, bro. Yeah. That's how good the bad tattooers are here comparatively to say parts of Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, you know. I always tell people, I'm like, you hate California, you're sick of it, it's too slow. I'm like, move to the Midwest and you will be books closed in less than a year.
Any place not surrounded by an ocean is, get some.
You're amazing. You're the most talented tattooer and you show up.
Yep.
You know, and you're half good out here, you know, comparatively.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, no, what passes for a koi fish in Minnesota still to this day, because I still follow tattooers from there, and I'm like,
dick
oh
with
my
scales,
God.
Man.
Yeah, totally. They still do the Cherry Creek dick with scales shit, dude. It's unreal. And I'm like, yeah, you could go out there and just fucking kill it.
Yeah.
You know, so to them, when a show comes around, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's the event of the year.
Yep.
You know, whereas here it's like, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one 2 weeks after that. There's even 2 on the same fucking day or weekend. You know, like it's not special here.
Yeah.
You know, it's still special in some areas.
It is, man. It's well, you know, the novelty wore off a long time ago for people.
For here, yeah. In the 50s, there was a fucking ton of tattoo shops, really. I mean, you ask any one of those guys, like, oh, there's too many fucking tattooers right now.
Yeah.
You know, they were all told you that.
Military bases.
Exactly.
Oh,
port towns.
Yeah.
Port cities.
Port cities, yeah, they were...
Yeah.
Boy, man, they were still lining up.
2 shops, too many.
Yep.
You know? Here we are with 2
banging
shops on every
prostitutes
block.
getting tattoos, just fucking getting ready for the war.
Yeah. Or commemorating the people they lost on the way home.
Yeah.
To get spit on from Nam and all these other places. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. The good days.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the good days, I always like to ask people what's the craziest story around tattooing you have, like, because tattoo shops and, you know, tattooers, there's always one that kind of sticks out.
Around
tattooing? Oh my God,
bro, I don't even know.
What's your best tattoo shop story? I mean, it's pretty funny. Your apprentice got his shit thrown out on the street and his hands fucking.
That was pretty much that, dude. That was pretty intense, bro.
Yeah.
I would say that's up there, man. And I just stories here from clients, but
yeah, what's a good one?
Oh, man, this is a story that came into the shop. All right, bro.
Yeah?
All right, so this...
No holds barred.
This girl fucking... She met a dude on Tinder. This is out in, like, East Coast, New York area. And she's, like, talked to him for a while before went on a date. So, like, all right, fucking cool. Fine, let's go on a date. She went on a date. He was, like, an RN or something. Super nice guy. Like, everything went so good. He's like, so we nightcap and everything and get out of here? She's like, yeah, let's do that. He goes, let's go to my place. All right, cool. They get in their cab or Uber, and she starts getting the fucking bubble guts in there. She's like, oh, shit, dude, this sucks. And she couldn't hold it anymore. She farts, shits her fucking pants inside of the cab, and it's cold as shit out. Can't, you know, rolling the windows down to be cold. She had to anyway. She's like, I'm fucking so sorry. Let me out here right now. He's like, don't worry about it. We'll go to my place. Don't worry about it. She's like, no, get me the fuck out of here, please. No, don't worry about it. Like, I've seen this shit, like, RN, I've seen worse. Dude, don't worry about it. He was super nice, comforting. He's like, you can shower at my house. You can wash your clothes there. Don't worry about it. My house, literally right there. You're way further. And she's like, okay, whatever. So he convinced her to go. She's super nice. She gets upstairs, gets into the fucking shower and stuff. He knocks on the door. He's like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "No, I'm embarrassed. I just want to leave." But he goes, "Hey, I'm going to throw your clothes in the wash." She's like, "Don't touch my stuff, please." He's like, "Don't worry about it. I'll throw it in the wash, you know, and then we can just watch a movie or whatever. Here's a robe to get out." All right, cool. He was super fucking nice. She gets out of the shower, puts a robe on, grabs her, like, her stuff, her phone and everything. And she's like calling for him, "Hey," like he wasn't answering. "Hello," like wasn't answering. She opens his bathroom or his bedroom door. He's eating the shit out of her underwear. Bro. She gets her phone, runs out of the apartment, calls the fucking cops and everything. The cops are like, "Hey, I'm sorry this happened. It's not illegal. However, this is the third call we've gotten about this in the last month." This dude just X-laxing bitches, and I'm guessing gets off. Dude, M. Night Shyamalan twist, bro. Gets off on, like, getting caught, I guess, eating the shit out of their underwear, bro.
Oh, my God. Fucking people, man.
Dude, yeah. So she married him. No, I'm just kidding. No, she didn't. I never have a dude who's obsessed with me. I want that. Well, you fucking missed your opportunity. Like, yeah, dude.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, dude.
We are disgusting pigs.
Dude, what the fuck?
Men are terrible.
Yeah, that's a good story right there.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like the kind of crap that women listen to.
Literally.
Stories.
Literally,
girls that vlog.
Pun intended. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Nasty, dude. Yeah, crazy.
X-lax them. Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Roofie.
Fuck roofies, dude. I'm gonna X-lax your ass. I'm gonna eat their shit later, man.
Terrible.
Dude, gross, man. Yeah. Like, all right, cool. There's that.
Of all the things.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, what'd you have for dinner?
Oh, man. Nasty.
Right?
Yeah. He probably ordered for her. He's like, you should get this. This is good on the menu.
Right,
yeah. Some curry?
Right. Oh, anyways. Well, I know you need to get going. That's a great story. How can people get a hold of you if they want to get tattooed by you or check out your work or anything like that? What's
just my Instagram handle is at Kevin Becvar. Becvar's Becvar. And then you can contact me, everything on there, all my contact information.
Cool. We'll bring that up on the screen, obviously.
Perfect, yeah.
Promote it, yeah. So,
awesome.
Yeah. Any thank yous, fuck yous, shout outs? Like, I'm sure you've got a list.
Yeah, I got a few. I mean, people that literally I wouldn't be where I am. Like, Rob Smead from Electrum. He was my first sponsor. I've been with him since it was Kryptonite, since it was, beginning.
Yeah.
He's helped me in my career tremendously. Chris 51. Chris 51 helped me a lot. We filmed a whole show together. He helped me. We did a bunch of Comic-Cons, probably 50 Comic-Cons, traveling the world together. He put me on the map even further.
Okay.
So thank him tremendously, and anyone that was part of that show. Tommy from Starbright Inks, he's always, I've been using their inks for a long time now. And really those are the three big people that over the years, I would say Rob and Chris, I would not be where I am if it wasn't for those two individuals alone. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do it on your own.
No, they did. They just paid for all expenses, everything that they've always been supportive. So,
hell yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Any fuck yous? Any you want to air publicly?
I don't have any really, maybe a few years ago I was in that hateful kind of, but fuck yous, no. I mean,
gotcha.
Maybe a couple females have ruined my fucking life, but I ain't gonna put that out there.
Yeah. That's outside of tattoo.
That's outside of tattoo. And in the industry, no, not at all. No,
okay.
I'm chill right now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for doing this. We really appreciate it. Also, I know you're currently looking for people. Yeah.
I am. Yeah. Always hiring. Just
if there's any artists in the area.
Piercers, tattooer, whatever. Yeah. We'd love to. Yeah, we're chill.
Dark Helmet. Yeah, it's a rad place.
Yeah, Dark Helmet.
Very unique.
Yeah, very, if you like toys and movies and all that shit, talking about that stuff all day, pop culture, fun, dark humor. Yeah, we're the ones.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, this video is brought to you by Working Class Tattoo Supply. We care about tattooing. We care about tattooers. We try to carry as many tattooer-owned products as possible. Kevin knows. He's been a client of ours for quite some time. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so always check us out. There'll be links in the description and links to both Kevin's Instagram and his shop as well. Thanks for your time, and yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. All right.